place and building this thing out of order, but I'm building it in the order that I think is the correct order to build it. So we got our screw dipped in 3-in-1 oil. I had a problem last time with this falling out of place, and I know it's going to fall out of place again, but that'll get corrected later. I remember that with my first engine. That thing kept falling out of place. Alright, getting this on. Making sure that it's in there tight. Which that one's good. So now I'm going to put another screw in the other side. Okay, so now I'm able to turn the crankshaft. So another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set it like that for a minute. I'm going to close up this 3-in-1 oil because we don't need the 3-in-1 oil anymore. Now I'm going to get the crankshaft. Well, not the crankshaft, but the flywheel. And I'll show you how to put this on in a minute. I'm just doing this right now as a test. Because as I'm snapping these, I want to make sure that they're turning. Okay. Now I can turn it. So, the first piston rod that we installed for right now, you can see there's no hindrance. That one's working. That's the reason why I'm building it this way. Because as I'm snapping these, I can test that they're working. Okay, now we're going to turn our engine back around this way. We'll probably have to reposition all the rods, but that's okay. So I'm going to snap my second one. I'm going to skip one and snap my second one on this, but I got to make sure that it's the correct way round. So grabbing my rod, bringing it back over, making sure, yeah, the hook's facing that way. Okay, so let's see here. I just got to get that around there. Okay, you can see there's my hook. And then I'm going to rotate this to right there. And I'm going to take my hook and just press it into place. So now I should have 2 operating pistons. And you can see there as I'm turning it, we're working. So now we're going to work on doing our third one. So, taking my tweezers. Tweezers really helps with this part. Grabbing our piston rod. Dropped it. Hang on a minute. I'm working with this. Yeah, I'll get you. Okay, I got you. There, dragging it back to the middle. Looking on the engine, they snap. Let's see here. Yeah, they all snap this way, so making sure that I got it this orientation. Okay, skipping 2 from where I snapped it. So 1, 2, skipping those 2, we're going to snap it onto this one. And then we're going to take it and press, and then we're going to test spin again, and you can see now we have 3 working. So now we're going to snap our very last one at the very end one. So, oh, look at that, it's already sitting here waiting on us. It's right there. So I'll pull it out to there to where I can turn it around, making sure all hooks are facing the same way. grabbing our piston rod and working on pressing the last one in. Okay, all piston rods are now connected. We are now ready for our first test. So, turning the flywheel, you can see they are all moving. They are all correct. There's no sticking. So we're off. This is a success. So the piston rods are in place. So now I'm going to set that down. And now we're going to go to step. Let me look here. We're going to go to step 4 now. This is putting the distribution valves and the cylinder heads on the tops of the engine. Take the cylinder heads and distribution valves and fit them on top of the cylinders. Take time to make sure you have the correct parts for each cylinder head. These are push-fit connections. Okay, so the cylinder heads are these. I apologize if the video's, going to be too long and it's going to be 2 parts, but I wanted to show you everything that I'm doing to get this. Okay, I'm going to take my small one first. And I'm going to snap the small one right onto the small one right there. Looking at the things, there's a big peg and a small peg. Let me look here. It's hard to show this. You can see big peg, small peg. And big hole, small hole. So looking at that, we're going to figure out which way it goes. And then we're going to snap the first piece onto the engine. Just like that. Now that's going to hold that engine together. So this is why also I wanted to make sure to do this at the last, because if any of them piston rods are not moving or they're stuck, you can still get the engine apart than having those on top. So now I'm going to work on putting this one in. So that one is going to be this one right here, I think. Yeah. Between all 3 of these, there are 2 big circles, and there's a medium-sized circle. So make sure you have the medium size. And that medium size is going to face that way like that. Make sure I got my engine turned around towards the front like that. And then looking for the big hole and the small hole, which I'm seeing it right there. So, big peg, small peg, taking it, and it's going to go right there. Okay, and the thing is facing that way. So we're good on that. Now we're going to take one of the big circles, and this one is going to be at the front of the engine. So, right here. Small hole, big hole. Big peg, small peg. So taking it and pressing it into place. Just like that. That one's on. Now we're going to go the same thing, big peg, small peg. Taking the other piece of the engine, looking for the small peg, which the small peg is right there. Big peg, small peg. So this one's going to turn the opposite way. And this antenna sticking up is going to face the inside. So putting it at the very end. And then pressing it into place. And there you have it. Those are now on. Now we're going to take our 2 distribution valves. And we're going to put those on too. So that's these 2 distribution valves. And these are made the same way, big peg, small peg. So it's going to go right there, and the other one's going to go right there. So big peg, small peg, it's going to go right here. Making sure I got it on there. I didn't glue my last ones, but if these feel loose, I will glue them. So I'm just testing to see how they work. I don't want to stab that. That one didn't fit correctly on that one, so let me try the other side. Or if it's just, you know, loose. And testing that. Because I want to make sure when I put these on, they ain't going to come back off. Okay, that one's on there good. That one went on that one better. So now we're going to use the other one on this side. And hopefully it doesn't try the same thing like it did the first time. Hopefully it goes snug. Otherwise I'll have to glue it. So, taking the tweezers. Yeah, I think we're going to have to glue this one. Let me look here. Yeah, we're going to have to glue that one, I think. So, let's get our Loctite Power Gel. Or Ultra Gel Control. I got a habit calling it Loctite Power Gel because that's what Building with the Boys calls it. Alright, getting their gel on the end piece. So, looking where it goes. Pressing that side down. I gotta make sure to get that side down. There. Now those are on. And you can see here at the back, that's what I'm talking about. I had this problem with my first engine too. This piece back here keeps falling out of place until the other pieces get on it. But there you go. We're still turning. So, set the engine down there. Now that we got those out of the way. Now we're going to go to step 5. Take the shaft 29A and place it on your work surface. Note the arrangement of the 4 rectangular blocks along the shaft. One side of each block is almost flush with the surface, and this side is flat on the work surface, circled below left, with the 4 arms pointing towards the short connectors 27F on the assemblies from issue 27. Fit the grips on the ends of parts 27F onto the shaft 29A as shown below. Okay, when it talks about the rectangular squares and one end is flat and one end is flush, I will show you what it's talking about. Because this got me the first time with my first engine. It's talking about these. You see this end right here is flat. This end is sticking up. So my best advice to you will be take this It's going to go right here on your engine. If you have it this way, you can see that's going to slide in perfectly. But if you connected your piston rods and all that the wrong way onto this thing, and when you go to push it in, if it's the wrong way, the squares will be sticking up like that. It's going to bump your engine, and it will not go. So make sure when you connect these pieces on, this is facing down. That way when you go to press, it will go in your engine, and it won't bump your engine. And the pieces that I'm talking about connecting it to are these pieces right here. So I'm going to connect these, and I'm going to show you how to do this correctly. So according to the book, okay, according to the book, when you place it on your table, make sure this side is touching the table. Not like this. But if you want to make it easier on yourself and make sure you do have it correct, take your engine, locate these holes, put it the correct way round, but don't snap it in, put it the correct way round. After you've got it the correct way round, take one of your pieces and basically insert it to where you know it goes. Take it off your engine, holding it in that position. Once again, making sure the blocks are facing down if you're attaching it to your engine. And then locate the piece. And then press. Now that you have one on, you know now that you are putting it the correct way. So do the same thing for the other three. Matching what you've just done. Making sure they go on. Just like that. Do not put them on like this. Do not attach like this. Otherwise you're going to encounter that problem I told you about. So go ahead and place your second one, matching the first one you did. Take your third one, matching that one. You can see they're looking good. And I'm going to show you this as a test to show you what I'm talking about the do not. So take this, just put it on your engine. I'm going to dry fit this because I'm not putting it in yet. But this is a dry fit. Okay. So if they are facing this way, like that, you got it correct. Now the way I'm telling you do not do, you don't want to have one facing backwards like this. Otherwise it's going to snap to this bar. And then when it snaps into the rod, you're going to be sticking out about that far on all of them. And if you do that, your gangway that goes on the side of the engine is not going to go on. You're going to encounter major problems. So, taking our last one, putting it on the correct way. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm trying to tell you, you know, what to do and what not to do. I'm just trying to keep you from making a terrible mistake and risking trying to pull it back loose and breaking your engine. I don't want to see you do that. But there you go. Now these are the correct way. So I'm going to go ahead and install mine now. And I'm going to use my Ultra Gel Control super glue and put the glue on the pins. Because this is easier, because if not, it'll pull out of your engine. So, putting glue on the end of the pegs. So, we got glue on the end of the pegs. Making sure mine are the correct way, which you see the squares are facing down. Taking our engine. And then we're going to insert all them pegs into the engine. pressing, making sure it's all flush and it's in there. And there we go. Now that they're in there, now we can take these parts right here and connect them to the remaining places. So let me just close up my Ultra Gel Control Loctite Super Glue. And then I'm going to work my way from the back, making sure that I get this rod in the correct orientation, finding its slot, and fastening it. So that's one fastened. So now I'm going to do a test turn. And you can see there, we're doing good. So now we're going to work on finding our second slot, getting our second one, making sure that it goes in the correct orientation. And then I'm going to work it around until I can snap it in place. There's two. So now I'm going to turn the flywheel again. And then right there, I did get hung up. So I'm going to look at this and see where I'm hung. Okay. This right here just got jammed right there, that little piece right there. So I'm going to be wary of that. Now I'm going to take my second one. Make sure it's okay. And I'm going to snap the third one in. Like that. Let me make sure that these are okay. I'm going to give that flywheel another turn. Okay. Now we're doing good. Now I'm going to snap my last one in place. So I'm going to grab that right there, bring it down, spinning the crankshaft to where it can connect, and fasten. And there you go. With that, we have this step completed. So now I'm going to give her a test turn, and then I'm going to turn it the other way. You can see there, the engines are turning perfectly. This is a success build. So if you followed me step by step and you did everything that I said to do, you're going to come out with this result. So you can see there, we are turning perfectly. Now I'm not going to glue this flywheel on just yet, because what's going to happen, you're going to put a base on the bottom of the engine. Now, I think what happened with a lot of people, you did glue the flywheel in place, you was in the correct orientation, but when the base goes in, it has a tendency to push this forward. And if it pushes this forward, this flywheel is also going to go forward, you see that. So I think that's what happened to us the last time with the last engine. When we put that piece on, it pushed it forward, and it pushed the flywheel out too far out of the engine. But the correct way you want to put the flywheel on for a dry fit, look for the detailed side. This side has detail. This side is flat. Make sure the detailed side is on the outside. So, let me go ahead and... my bad. I gotta find the D shape. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and find the D shape and put my flywheel back on. But you can see here with my engine, we're turning. We have no problems. So this is a success build, and this right here completes issue 29. The engine is just about finished. It just needs to have the base of it. But anyway, I'll go ahead and I'll read the rest of the book right fast, and then I'll end the video. So after that step, you know, connecting the rods, it would be like I just did, gluing the, turn around, gluing that long rod to the engine. So take the assembly from step 4, noting the position of the long shaft at the end of the crankshaft, 29B, circled in blue. Top position the assembly from step 5 as shown. Note that the flat side of the blocks, which is the blocks I showed you, that will bump the engine if it's on the incorrect way, is now facing upwards. Fit the grips on the ends of the connectors 27G to the free joints in the crankshaft 29B. So that's when it's showing you, let me tilt the phone up here. That is when it's showing you, you know, to connect them like that. And then after that, we go down to the next one. Maneuver the shaft 29A so that you can fit the 4 arms circled in yellow above left into the holes in the port columns 27H circled in red above. If necessary, apply a little super glue to the arms to hold them in place, which is what you saw me do. And then we'll go to the very last one, which talks about, you know, the flywheel. Step 8, the flywheel. Fit the flywheel to the end of the crankshaft. Note that one side of the hole in the flywheel is flattened and matches the shape of the end of the shaft. Use a little glue to hold the flywheel in place if necessary. It shows a picture of the flywheel and its detail being on the outside, but in issue 3, if you look back at issue 3, they talk about the detail of the flywheel and make sure that the detail of the flywheel is on the outside. And then the last part, completed work. The second reciprocating engine is almost complete. And with that, we have completed issue 29. I'm sorry this video ended up being so long, but I wanted to show you everything and make sure that you would come out with the best result in your engines. Because I know a whole lot of people are having trouble with their engines and sticking and stuff like that. But if you use this video and you follow it to a T and do everything that I did, you will come out with the best results for your engine. Now, note, as I'm turning this, it's working. But eventually, this thing does have a tendency to fall out of place back here. If it does, just put it back in place. That will be held all together with their next step, our next issue. And speaking of that, I almost forgot to show you what we'll be doing next Saturday. Sorry about that. Let me set this engine to the side. Okay. Next week in issue 30. Let me go ahead and get the pages open to the build. Okay. Next week in issue 30, we will be doing base of the second engine. We'll be doing all this next week. Now, when it comes to these, the exhaust valves, I think is what these are, I would not attach them to your engine. I have seen so many people on YouTube break these. Let me think here. Who was it? Chris Creates has broke his. John's Model Making has broke his. I would not attach these to the tops of your engine until the engine is fully inserted into the ship and the hole is going around it. When you know that you're getting ready to put the whole engine room into the ship, that's when I would attach these. But wait a little bit until you're close to the end of putting the engine to the ship before you attach those. But that's what we will be doing next Saturday, which will be basically next month. I'm doing a slow build because it lasts me longer, and by the time I get off this pack, I should be almost ready to receive the next shipment in. And I've also got a problem too. I've contacted the Gore Models for this, but I'm going to show you my problem. When I get to issue 31, when they wrapped mine, they bent a pipe, and I requested a replacement pipe, but I don't think it's coming until my next shipment. But you can see there, this pipe is bent. This is the pipe that will eventually attach to the side of your engine. I'll have to show you with this one, my second engine. But this is the pipe that will, eventually attach here. You can see there, it's bent upwards. But on the other engine, this is for the first reciprocating engine. On the other engine, it has to attach like this. And as you can see, if I attach it, that pipe is bent way down. And I can't fix that. I've tried heating this up. I've tried boiling water and everything. When it cools, it goes right back to the same orientation. So I've requested a replacement pipe. And I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. But I don't think that's going to come in until with the next shipment. So hopefully it comes in before we get to that issue. But that won't be until next month sometime. But what happened when they rolled it up, they wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. Whoever, packaged it. And when they bent it like that, they caught the pipe. And that's how it got bent. Which, it's not their fault, I understand, getting in the hurry and packaging things and stuff like that. But it does suck when you receive a part and then it's messed up and you have to request a replacement. Because then it gives you a longer waiting time. But I'll wait. But that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, I'm sorry it was so long, but I wanted to show you everything. But yeah, we've almost completed our second engine now. But I hope this video helps in those of you who are having trouble with your engine sticking and stuff. I hope this video gives you some pointers and helps you get your engines together the best way. But you all have a blessed one, and I will see you guys in my next one. And goodbye.